Hello, how's it going? Welcome back to some more F1 Manager 2022 and another part of the Aston Martin Road to Glory career mode, which could well be happening this season in terms of glory. Thank you for the support on the series so far. We're still well over 1,000 views a day, well over 100 likes, so do keep it coming, keep getting involved down in the comment section down below, and we will keep going until at least the end of Season 2. We'll be going with the daily content and exclusively F1 Manager 2022 content. There's another 8 races to go this season. It's going to go right down to the wire in terms of the championship, who's going to win it, whether it's going to be Pierre Gasly or Fernando Alonso. It's certainly looking like it is between those two at the moment. In the constructors, we're around about 150 points ahead, 154 to be exact. That is massive. We've won 10 Grand Prix this year. We've had 12 podiums, 11 fastest laps. We've been very, very dominant, and I think it's pretty crazy because we're going to look at the car analysis again in a little bit, and we don't have the best car. However, our driver lineup is incredibly strong. It's been incredibly consistent this season, and we've picked up opportunities and taken them throughout the year. In the driver standings, they're leading the way. Alonso 14 points ahead of Gasly after his 6th win of the season. It's 6-4 to Fernando Alonso in terms of victories. Gasly had a bit of a scrappy race last time out in Belgium. Actually crashed Lewis Hamilton out of the race. So you would say Hamilton probably out of the championship running, but all it takes is for one of these guys to go on an almighty run towards the end of the season, and I'm not sure we'll be able to stop them winning the championship. I really do still think that we're close to the limit here. If you look at our car, you can see on average it's pretty damn good, but none of our parts are particularly special. The only real bit of massive benefit, I think, is the acceleration, top speed, the low speed and high speed corners. But again, we're the 4th best car in that aspect. We shouldn't be winning races. We certainly shouldn't be getting pole positions, and I think we'll start to see that over the next few races as our upgrades are wearing down, and of course we'll be switching our attention to next season and the regulations that we're looking at there, because if we look at that for next season, you can see we have done a little bit of research, but there is quite a bit of change coming in, so we are going to lose quite a bit of expertise over the winter, and that is going to mean that our new car struggles a little bit, and we can either really go full-blown towards the championship this year, but because we've got quite a cushion, I actually want to cast my mind forward to next year, make sure that we hit the ground running like we did this season. We stopped development before the summer break last year. We threw all of our resources behind the 2023 car, and look what's happened. We're in a position where we can win both championships, but we're kind of in that Brawn GP aspect of we came out of the new regulations, out of the blocks, winning races, performing well. Now we're starting to be found out a little bit as our resources don't really match the teams around us in terms of our engineers and our staff. So we're in that tricky situation, and we could have a few transitional years coming up after this. I think we have to bear that in mind. So with all of that in mind, let's get ourselves immersed into the action. Of course, we won last time out in Belgium. It's going to be exciting going forward to Zandvoort to see where exactly we are going to be with this. We have got an upgrade on the front wing coming in 6 days' time, so it's not going to come in time for the Dutch Grand Prix, but it will be there in time for the Italian Grand Prix, and that is going to be our final upgrade of the season. What I do want to do is have a look at our drivers, because Pierre Gasly is due another development point. Still 85 rated. Fernando Alonso, we are going to upgrade his accuracy. And Oscar Piastri, still going with smoothness for him. Let's just have a little look at staff. So, Technical Chief T Chung. He needs his chassis upgrading. And then if we have a little look at Chris Cronin, let's go for feedback for him. And he is now an 82 rated engineer. Fantastic. Okay. Right, I think with all of that in mind then, let's continue on. Race preview. So yeah, we're leading by 154 points. Okay, right. So they're expecting us to reach Q3. So let's promise them that they'll both get through to that point. We'll promise Q2 as well. Finish position. Let's say both drivers are going to finish in the top 8. And finish position streak. That's fine. So we've got a lot of money on the table here, ready to go in case we get it. So let's get ourselves into the Dutch Grand Prix. It was a pretty crazy race last time out. Let's see what this year's got in store.
Another historic weekend of Formula One here at Zandvoort. The track has seen many unforgettable moments, like Gilles Villeneuve's three-wheeled lap at the 1979 Dutch Grand Prix, which cost him victory. What excitement lies ahead this year? There's never a dull moment at Circuit Zandvoort. It's fast, very fast, with long straights and wide curves. But it also features 2 heavy banked corners, where aerodynamic improvements are sure to help our drivers. This is it. We're down to the last few races of the season, and it's time for that final push. Who will be crowned champion at the end of it all? We'll find out soon enough. There's nothing like a race weekend in Formula One.
All right then, there we go. It's going to be raining in practice, which always presents a bit of an issue. But hopefully we'll be all right. It's going to be nice sunny weather for the Grand Prix on Sunday, so looking forward to that, and I'll see you guys when we come to qualifying. Okay, so there we are at the end of FP3. Now, don't be too alarmed by the fact that we are 19th and 20th. I was telling them to conserve as much as possible because we were using old parts, and I wanted them to save fuel, but yeah, it didn't work. You can see Charles Leclerc fastest there. Quite a few grid penalties again, and bearing in mind, I do think we are going to need to take some more penalties this season. I'm tempted to take a brand new engine. The reason being, I think overtaking should be fine here. I also think that it's going to be a pretty crazy race. There were 3 crashes in practice 3 alone that we did. So that is absolutely bonkers. Let's make sure we've got the new gearbox in. And there's bound to be safety cars. Last year we started at the back with Sebastian Vettel. Now, Vettel crashed out, but he was running quite well and allowed Nico Hülkenberg to finish in the points. So we have form here. We have form that suggests we may well be all right. As I say, I think we need to take the new engines. We are going to do qualifying 1 because I want to see where the pace of the car truly is this weekend. But other than that, yeah, that is where we are. So we're going to do Q1, but let's see.
Radio check.
And I know what you guys are going to say. You're going to say there's no point in doing this. And fair enough. There might not be any point. However, I want to see how much pace we've got in the car. We're going to do one run only, and we're going to see where the pace of the car is. So let's hop on board with Fernando Alonso, and let's see what we can do here. Brand new, fresh engine, fresh gearbox. We will be starting from the back of the grid. Who is going to be starting ahead of who? Is it going to be Fernando? Is it going to be Gasly? That's the main question. And yeah, I'm really intrigued to see what is going to happen today. Are we going to be able to get back into it? Are we going to be able to get into the points? It's huge. It really is. So, flying through Sector 1, Gasly marginally quicker than Fernando. 23.9 plays a 23.9. Hundredth of a second separating them at the moment. Here we come through the middle sector. Alonso goes purple for now. What about Pierre Gasly? What's he going to be able to do here? Now, is Fernando Alonso going to lose out as Gasly goes purple in the middle sector again? 300ths of a second quicker, but Fernando Alonso is going to get a lovely tour all the way to the line. Fernando Alonso goes quickest with a 108.6. Gasly coming around the back now. He's coming up to the line. What's he going to do? He does a 108.5. So Gasly goes quickest. Gasly slightly quicker. And that is going to be a lot for Q1. We're going to zip it forward. You can see Mick Schumacher around about 0.8 of a second off, which at a track like this is quite a distance. Ricciardo only 2.5 tenths back. Ocon and Vettel go P3 and 4. Verstappen goes quicker, nearly 4 tenths quicker than us. That's huge. Sainz goes second. Leclerc now takes first position in Q1. Hamilton only 9th. I'm assuming he was held up by traffic. Russell now coming round. Where's he going to go? Russell goes 3rd. So Mercedes looking good. Ferrari looking good. Red Bull looking good. We 5th and 6th at the moment. And assumedly, or presumably, what am I trying to say? Presumably, Hamilton will go quicker as well. Here comes Vettel. He's going to be first over the line. Be interesting to see where he ends up. Is he going to get past us? Vettel comes up to the line. Is he any quicker? Yes, he goes 6th, so he's quicker than Alonso. Russell goes through. Perez has gone quicker. What about Hamilton? He's going to come through now. Hamilton goes 5th. Alonso down to 10th. And there you go, 8th and 10th out of the first session. That is very, very interesting. So, yeah, you can see we're not that far above the drop zone. 4 tenths ahead of that. So, yeah, 8th and 10th. And as I said to you, 4th best car. I'm really not surprised by that. But let's get into the race then. Although this is Q2, so yeah, I'm going to actually manage it because I do not want them to run. I'm just going to let them go.
Radio check, okay. Radio check, okay.
Because there's no point in us getting through to Q3. And it might well be that with a bit more track rubber down, that we might well get further up the field, but there's no point because we're going to be starting from the back of the grid anyway. But it'll be interesting to see what unfolds with the rest of the guys out there. Now, is Hamilton going to manage to put in a good lap this time? Because he struggled last time. This time's had a bit of traffic with Leclerc, so only 7th at the moment, slower than his teammate. And Max Verstappen currently in the drop zone. There are going to be a couple of shocks that go through. Now, the only thing that I'm thinking is our promises, but it is what it is. We're just going to have to lose that money, aren't we? And there you go. End of Q2 then. Both drivers eliminated. But, yeah. Lando Norris, Albon and Magnussen out, which is interesting. Bottas has made it through. But Max Verstappen quickest in the second qualifying session.
It's race day with the teams and drivers ready and raring to go.
Aston Martin did a good job during qualifying, and they're pretty much where everyone expected them to be on the grid. Now, it's up to them to defy expectations during the race itself. We saw a solid qualifying performance from Ferrari, and they're sure to have their chance to push even further during the race. and the clouds today look very ominous, which means that teams may have to contend with rain at some point during the race.
So let's see how the teams tackle this race today here at the Dutch Grand Prix.
All right then, so we are ready for the race. It is going to be a dry one. 72 laps. It's going to be intense. We've got Gasly starting in P19, Fernando Alonso starting in P20. Let's have a little look at some strategy options. Personally, I think we probably want to start on the hard compound tyre. So let's swap these round and see what we can do here. Try and extend that first stint as long as we can, and potentially we go softs towards the end. No, we're just going to attack towards the end on those medium tyres, and that looks pretty good to me. And we'll do the same with Fernando Alonso. We'll go very, very long on the hard tyres, and then attack towards the end of the Grand Prix, and hopefully we'll have a positive result. That's the plan. It could be quite a boring one if we do get stuck behind all these cars, but I'm hoping that we'll be able to attack from the off. We're going to go look after the hard tyres, take them as far into the race as we can before switching to the mediums, and let's see how we get on.
The drivers have now taken position on the grid, and it's looking like a cloudy day. There we have Pierre Gasly. They'll be starting the race from the bottom half of the grid, so there's a fair bit of ground to make up. And here's Alonso, the team's second driver. Slower than most yesterday, so today they'll be starting from the bottom half of the grid. Everything's been building to this.
Okay then, here we are. We are ready.
And the crowds are waiting
for the lights.
It's the Dutch Grand Prix. And it's lights out.
Away we go. Max Verstappen off to a very good start in front of his home crowd. Is Charles Leclerc going to be able to make a move into turn one? He's certainly got the inside line, but he doesn't manage to make the move, although Leclerc is still sticking it in there. Is he going to have a look into turn two? No, he doesn't. And now into the banked turn three. He's going to have to follow them round as Sainz follows them through. And here's Perez, then Russell, and then Ocon and Hamilton side by side. But Hamilton making it through there as Gasly has made a place already over Mick Schumacher. Can Hamilton hold off Esteban Ocon? No, he can't. Ocon is through for now, and then Daniel Ricciardo following him in P8 as it stands. Sebastian Vettel is in 9th with Kevin Magnussen in the top 10. Here is Norris in P11, then Stroll, Zhou, Albon, Bottas, Tsunoda, followed by Nico Hülkenberg, who's under pressure from Pierre Gasly right now. Although he's just lost out to Nico there. Let's have a little look at tyre choices for this Grand Prix so far. So we are the only people on hard tyres. Pretty much everybody is on softs. There are quite a few mediums in there as well. Certainly the front runners seem to prefer the medium tyres for the moment. But here goes Pierre Gasly. Is he going to have a look? He doesn't manage it. And Fernando Alonso still in P20. I thought he might have made a little bit more progress on that first lap, I'm going to be honest. But we'll move it back to neutral. We know we're not absolutely going at it like the clappers at the start of this race, but we need to make sure that we are getting past the Williams cars very, very quickly, because they have the potential to hold us right up. Brand new engines for both of our drivers, and it gives them both a very fair shot at the championship, and that's what I'm looking to do, really. You know, I don't want to disadvantage one over the other. We've got a really good lead in the constructors, so worst case scenario, we score no points today and we go at it again in Italy. But here we go then.
DRS is enabled.
First chance for Pierre to overtake Nico Hulkenberg, is he going to do it? No. Okay then. Time to zoom forward a little bit then. But you can see already we are losing out to Valtteri Bottas. We need to use DRS to our advantage. So we're going to pop that into overtake now. Try and get right into position to attack on the straight. So here we go. Pierre Gasly flies round the bank of the final corner. Needs to get DRS enabled. That's exactly what he does. Hulkenberg now. Oh, wow. Hulkenberg has passed Tsunoda. And Tsunoda slows right down in front of Gasly here. We need to be able to make the move. And there you go. Gasly going to have a look around the outside. That was risky. As we go up the hill, these are on soft tyres. They're going to get better traction out of the corners, in theory. Yeah, Fernando Alonso struggling as well. But what we don't want to do is absolutely attack and destroy the tyres, because to make this one-stop work, we've got to take these hard tyres a long way into the Grand Prix. Anyway, here goes Tsunoda. Is he going to have a look? Oh, I thought Gasly was going to have a chance there. It didn't come to fruition. Here goes Max Verstappen, by the way. Let's keep an eye on him as Charles Leclerc opens up DRS. It looks like Leclerc is going to take the lead of this Dutch Grand Prix. Goes round the outside. But Max Verstappen holds on. Excellent defence from the Dutchman there. Here goes Gasly. Is he going to have a look? He goes down the inside of Yuki Tsunoda and he is through. That is what we needed. And now Gasly up into P17. And now goes down the inside. Oh, he's not going to... Oh, he's lost out. Not only to Tsunoda, but also Mick Schumacher was having a little look there. Didn't quite manage it, but Gasly still is behind the Williams cars.
And there's an overtake from
And that is exactly what we wanted to avoid. Because the more time we are losing behind these two, the less chance we've got of getting right back into the points. So here we go. Tsunoda having a look at Nico Hulkenberg as Gasly closes in once again. And Gasly's going to fly around the final corner. He's hopefully going to be able to get past both of them here. As Verstappen retakes the lead of the Grand Prix. And there goes Tsunoda, but once again we have to back out of it. Hey, Alonso's finally passed Mick Schumacher. And now you should see Alonso make a big gain.
Looks like Aston Martin have just gained a race position.
But we are just not able to get past these guys. It's time to attack now. Overtake button. We need to get past at all costs.
They'll come to us. Copy.
So here we go then.
Use overtake. Okay.
So there we go. Gasly now. Oh, that was close. Is he going to have a look round the outside? He is. That's excellent. So use the overtake button. A good effect there. Is going to have DRS on Hulkenberg here. You would expect that this is going to be the chance for Pierre Gasly. He should be able to make it past.
With a great play there. They've moved up a place.
And yep, here he goes. He's going to go down the inside, and Pierre Gasly is through on Nico Hulkenberg. And now, hopefully, he's going to be able to push on and get behind Valtteri Bottas as Fernando Alonso now stuck behind Yuki Tsunoda. Goes down the inside. That's a beautiful move from Fernando. That was aggressive. That's what I like to see.
Doing a good job. That's going to help you. Yeah, take it easy. Okay.
And now, hopefully, he's going to coast up to the back. of Nico Hülkenberg. And get past him. Gasly struggling to get more than a second ahead. Hülkenberg's going to have DRS and close right back in here. So what can Gasly do? Here he comes, round the bank. And this is where we hope Nico Hülkenberg doesn't have the straight line speed, which he doesn't. Meanwhile, Fernando Alonso needs to start to catch up. Let's zoom it forward. We're assuming Gasly will just slowly pull away from Hulk. Slowly close in on Bottas. But it's Charles Leclerc leading this race ahead of Max Verstappen in P2, Sainz P3 with Perez P4, Russell P5 ahead of Ocon in 6th, Hamilton still struggling to get past Esteban Ocon at present. Ricciardo is currently 8th, Alonso now past Hülkenberg. That's what we like to see. And Gasly, as I say, closing in slowly but surely on Valtteri Bottas. Hülkenberg now more than a second behind Alonso, so no DRS for him. And yeah, we need to catch Bottas because he's more than a second behind Albon. That's going to mean that Gasly has a good chance. It's probably time to harvest a little bit. Try and get our energy back up. Still should be able to pull away from Hülkenberg and Schumacher and Tsunoda. Although Schumacher's, well, he nearly made it past there. So yeah, we need to make sure that that bundle of energy is full. But Kevin Magnussen, a bit of a cork in the bottle at the moment for the top 10, but it's going to be a bit of a DRS train, and yeah, just got to hope that when people come into the pits, we manage to pump in the laps, really. I think that's the rationale behind gaining our energy at the moment. We're not really losing anything, because even if we coasted up to the back of Bottas, we're not going to pass him, because he's in that massive DRS train.
Energy's good. Copy.
But now we've got
loads of energy.
Now we've got a full tank of energy. We can just start coasting a little bit. We need to make sure that we have enough fuel. So we're going to go on balanced for now. Can be quite a fuel heavy race, this one. You would imagine our pace is going to be strong enough to get up to the back of Bottas, even with not pushing. So things are going alright at the moment. Carlos Sainz now leading the race ahead of Charles Leclerc. So it's a Ferrari 1-2, followed by a Red Bull P3 and P4. Mercedes 5-7 at the moment. Ocon managing to stay with the leaders. And that is what's causing Hamilton presumably a lot of frustration in not being able to get past Esteban Ocon. We are meanwhile closing up to Bottas, a couple of tenths per lap, but not really putting in any special pace here. But what we are trying to do is get our fuel nicely up, got our energy nicely up, so now it's about getting that fuel. Now, Magnussen and Norris have actually pulled away from that group a little bit here, and there's somebody in the wall. And here we go. This is where things can work out for us.
15, yellow 15.
So what has happened here?
Let's take a look at the
crashed.
replay. Now just focus on the Haas. A definite collision there.
Okay.
That's very unfortunate.
Is Magnussen out of the race? I don't think so.
That was a bitter blow for the team.
I don't think he will be. No. But what it has done is allowed us to get past him. Norris is now on his own out there. Gasly leading the way in the battle of the Aston Martins. And what my objective is now is to build up a nice reserve of fuel so that when we have got absolute clear air during the pit stops we can go for it. But if you have a little look at our gap to the leader, we're already a pit stop behind the leader Carlos Sainz. We're not lapping at a dissimilar place to him, but we're certainly not in that battle today. You would think. Hamilton finally passed Ocon, by the way. Now can Hamilton push on? It certainly looks like he is doing exactly that. And will he now be able to catch back up to George Russell? Nico Hülkenberg in the pits. He was on soft tyres. I think that was Nico Hülkenberg anyway. Was it? Or was it Kevin Magnussen? I'm not sure. I'm sure it said Hülkenberg. Yeah, all three of the back markers have been in. But yeah, you can see our pace. It's not too dissimilar to the guys up top. Now, what's happened to Albon? How come Gasly has made it past Albon? Have they come into the pits?
Martin have just gained a race position.
No. How's Gasly managed to get past Albon?
There. Now look at this. It's Pierre Gasly.
Albon must have dropped off that group. Didn't have DRS, so Gasly's managed to make it through nicely. And now, Gasly very much in this group. So, lap 24 of this Grand Prix. It's starting to hot up a little bit. There we go then with DRS is Gasly. Going to be able to do the business here. So following through in the background there. Hasn't seemed to have the pace of his teammate round here. But here we go. Pierre Gasly round the bank. DRS is going to be enabled and here he goes. He's having a little look at Bottas here. Is he going to go around the outside? No, he isn't. He drops down. But again, this is where we could lose a lot of time. He's right here, right now. Ultimately, where we'd like to be is probably about 7th at the end of this Grand Prix. I feel like we can perhaps achieve that. With a safety car, I think we could be in that front battle. But at the moment, it's just not happening. And there goes Gasly again with DRS. And I wonder if we attack, can we get through on Bottas here? He's already quicker than Bottas. Needs to pull to the right hand side here. Isn't going to happen. So let's push forward. Let's see if he can do it. Coming towards the next DRS zone. Gonna go overtake. And here we go. He's got a little clear angle, but Bottas comes over to defend. And again, it's going to be in this final sector. Needs a good run onto the main straight. And Stroll, Zhou, and Bottas definitely a cork in the bottle here. Right. How have we gone empty? That is ridiculous.
Copy.
So now, here goes Gasly, perhaps round the outside. No, look. Alonso now in this battle. So while Carlos Sainz, Ocon, Hamilton, they're all in the pits. This is important for us now. We desperately need to get past these guys and get into that clear air. We're going to be a long way behind that battle. Oh, and there you go. They go into the pits. That looks like Hamilton coming around the pit exit now. Okay, so we're a pit stop behind Lewis Hamilton and Ocon, who we feel like we should be battling for 7th place. Maybe we don't have the pace this weekend. Maybe that's what it is. I'm not sure. Do we unleash the pace of Gasly, for instance? Leave Alonso on a slightly different strategy? And here's Bottas. Are we going to be able to get past Bottas? Let's just have a little look at tyre choices. Hamilton's gone hard.
Good job, keep pushing.
Meanwhile, Alonso trying to get past Albon, didn't manage it there. But might be able to manage it down the bank. Here we go. Bottas isn't in this lap. A new fastest lap for Pierre Gasly. That is crazy. A 1:11.6. That's amazing. Now that we're starting to push, starting to make that time up. Realistically, what we need is a virtual safety car or a safety car so that we can come in and get a cheap pit stop out of this. But we need to take these tyres as long as we can. So here we go, DRS once again.
So we're happy to let these tyres cool.
Is he going to be able to go around the outside? Not quite this time. Going to keep an eye on them. Alonso struggling to get past Albon.
This is good, come on.
But here we go, once again. Round the final corner comes Pierre Gasly, DRS enabled. Is he going to be able to have a look at Bottas? It's going to be pretty tight. He's going to have a look round the outside, but Bottas has got the inside line. Not a chance he's getting round there. Meanwhile, Hamilton struggling to keep us in front. He's 1.9 off Vettel. And we go up the hill, swinging around the first sector. No look there. Right behind Bottas this time. Problem is, this is killing our tyres. Well, here we go. I thought that was going to be the moment. Is he going to have a look down the inside? Oh, it's very tight. Bottas goes down the inside of Hamilton. That's crazy. Bottas is through. He's up to 10th now. Hamilton in our way. A little bit here. Let's hop on board. Bottas is in. Now then. Chance to push on here. We've got a McLaren in the pit lane. And the McLaren has left. That's Ricciardo. So he's come out ahead of Hamilton's lost a lot of time here. I think we need to make sure we're looking after the tyres with Gasly.
Coast will help.
Copy.
So back off.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Alonso doing his own thing. Oh, Is Gasly going to be able to get past Lewis Hamilton here? I think he might be able to, you know, so here we go. As Charles Leclerc is in the pits, here goes Pierre Gasly on Lewis Hamilton. And he is through. But Hamilton's still side by side there. Gets his elbows out, but that's not going to help him on the next straight. As Gasly's going to have DRS for a lot longer here. And then he's going to attack.
You can stop, lift and coast.
Yeah, copy.
Hamilton got an almighty exit there. So Gasly up to P10 for now. Of course, some guys have come into the pits, namely Norris. But I think we're currently net 11th and 12th. Once we get through all of this and it's all sorted itself out. Now, is he going to be able to get past Hamilton this time? Not this time. Hamilton in the way. Oh, so he's going to come around the final corner. Is he going to be able to get past him down that main straight? We're not even halfway through this Grand Prix yet. And here we go with DRS. And he is through. And then is Gasly going to be able to push on?
Aston Martin with a great play there. They've moved up a place.
Hamilton staying with him, but he's going to struggle to stay with him the whole time. Hamilton can't get through this time. Need to get up and into those positions, fighting with Ricciardo. There goes Hamilton. Oh, side by side, but Gasly stays in front. That was an important defence. Alonso not quite managing to stay with this battle. He's looking after his tyres a little bit more. How much has Gasly got in the tank? Not a lot. Not a lot. Need to be careful here. I think we need to get into that DRS train and then stick it back down to standard. Here comes Hamilton again, but Gasly holding him out to dry and stays ahead once again. And now he's going to be in the DRS train, which is exactly what we needed to do. So we're going to drop him back. Now. I'm going to actually zoom it forward a little bit until we get near the pit window. And as I say, we'd absolutely love a safety car, but it just doesn't look like it's going to happen this year. Pit window ended with Gasly. And Alonso will be entering it soon. Quite honestly, I think we need to attack Alonso now. We'll see what he can do, what he can achieve. So Gasly's got another lap or so.
It's a race position gained for a Mercedes.
So optimal pit lap. Let's attack. I'm going to bring him in this lap. Here we go. So he's going to go to the medium tyres. He's going to be attacking all the way to the end.
Box.
Yeah, in the box.
So here comes Pierre Gasly. Let's
Yeah,
watch his pit stop.
So make sure you get your pit limiter as you come in the pit lane.
Okay, and he's away. So Gasly is going to be out in front of... I'm hoping in front of Norris, and yes, he is, in front of Bottas, and he is. So that's not bad. Now Gasly on the medium tyres. Hopefully going to go to the end of the Grand Prix. And hopefully going to utilise these brand new tyres to their absolute potential. And get back into the top 10. We're going to go another lap or two with Fernando. So Alonso comes round again. So here we go. Medium tyres. Let's get him in this lap.
Box.
Yeah, box.
And Gasly, meanwhile, down to 1.3 behind Norris. But where on earth are we going to finish this race? You feel like if this is a late safety car, we can finish anywhere. But at the moment, 10th might be our best. I'm not sure we're going to be able to close down the gap to Hamilton and Co. in time. So Fernando Alonso coming round the final couple of corners. We'll keep an eye on his pit stop as he comes round that final corner now. 33% tyre wear, so in comes Fernando Alonso.
iPhone.
In he comes. Lovely pit stop, 2.6. He's obviously going to come out behind Gasly, who's just put in the fastest lap, by the way. It looks like Gasly has taken Lando Norris as well. Very good.
Aston Martin are moving up the field.
So now Gasly is in the top 10. Which is huge. That is exactly what we needed. Back in the points. Back into damage limitation. And now it's going to be a case of A, can Fernando join him, and B, can Gasly make up
The tyres down now.
this 16 seconds.
Save fuel. Okay.
Gasly pushing on. I hope that doesn't mean that Norris is going to get back past here. Perhaps push the fuel a little bit. Let's see if Gasly can pull out that 1 second range that he needs to. Should be able to. Yeah, I think this lap he's going to manage it. was briefly over a second, but I bet you maybe Norris didn't have DRS there. And now Fernando Alonso is closing in on Lando. Meanwhile, 14 seconds is the gap between Gasly and Hamilton. We could get as high as 6th place today if Gasly can close in that gap. Meanwhile, Fernando Alonso, let's keep an eye on his progress. Doesn't manage it this lap, but is through early in the lap. Don't quite know how that happened, but anyway. So we'll push Alonso on the fuel. There's a new fastest lap once again for Pierre Gasly. And that is a 1:10.7.
Some lift and coast will help that.
And that is massively quicker than anyone else around us. So now down to 11 seconds. We've got 21 laps to go after this one. Is Gasly going to be able to close in this gap? Fernando Alonso also moving through, trying to get more than a second ahead of Lando Norris. Gasly doing a sterling job, 10 seconds behind Hamilton. Yeah, this is where it's at. And a new fastest lap from Fernando Alonso this time. We have got a bit of ERS
Save fuel.
to have a go at the end with Fernando. Yeah, with Gasly, it's just going to be what it's going to be. So, Gasly, 9.3 behind. We've got 18 laps to go. It's going to be very, very tight. The other possibility, of course, is that they may well be coming in to change tyres, but I don't think that's going to be necessary. Gasly's tyres certainly going to be a lot more worn than Fernando's at the end of the race. And it's all going to be whether Gasly's tyres will last as long as we think. At the moment, he's using them about as much as we thought he would. With Alonso just smooth as a baby's bum. Gasly 7.4 behind Hamilton now. He is pushing really hard to get back into this battle. And what a comeback it would be if we could make it past those guys towards the end of this Grand Prix. Another fastest lap from Fernando Alonso. He's absolutely flying out there. A 1:10.4 now from the two-time world champion and the championship leader. He knows that he needs to outscore Gasly if he can possibly do it. Let's have a little check at the front. Sainz leading the way. Max Verstappen having a little look. Doesn't manage to get past. Leclerc currently in P3. He's ahead of Perez, then Russell. Vettel a long way behind in 6th. Then Ocon 7th. Ricciardo 8th. And Hamilton P9. Gasly not far behind them now. 6.3 is the gap.
Yeah.
Now, if there was to be a late safety car, that would be absolutely massive. We know that. And to be quite frank, everybody knows that. Let's have a little look at our car. Have we got enough fuel? Gasly's got slightly less. I think we just about got enough to see us through to the end of the Grand Prix. Gasly absolutely going for it right now. He's doing a terrific job. Let's just keep going. 5.8 seconds the gap now. Let's zoom it forward a few laps. Let's see if he can get onto the back of that train. Less than 5 seconds. 13 laps to go. .4. Now less than 4 4 seconds, 3.5. 11 laps to go. He can smell the fumes. He's getting that close now. And this is going to be a really intense final few laps. Gasly is going to catch them, you feel. It's within 2 seconds now. Fernando Alonso not far behind him. Gasly so close to that 1 second window. Let's hop on board with him. So 49% tyres. Are they going to last? I think once he gets into this DRS window, he needs to harvest his energy. Yeah, there we go. So let's get harvesting. And let's just go standard for a couple of laps. Get the tyre temps down. And then we're going to go absolutely pedal to the metal all the way after that.
So back off.
So Fernando Alonso, he's 2 seconds behind this group. He should catch as well, to be fair. So it could be a really, really exciting...
So 8 laps to go. 8 laps to go.
So the last 5 laps of this race. Gasly's now joined up with the back of this group. And to add to the drama, there is some traffic coming. So we need Gasly on a full tank of ERS. And we want to just absolutely go for it for the final 2 laps, essentially, is what my plan is. I think Alonso's going to have enough tyres either way. So Alonso has now caught Pierre Gasly, and because Gasly's harvesting, is Alonso going to have a look here? He might well do. We're going to have that on neutral. Because I can't afford to have Alonso getting through and then that being controversial, essentially. Right.
Yeah, take
Let's
it
go
easy.
standard.
Copy.
I think we just need another lap, just making sure that we've got as much energy as we can. And making sure that we can absolutely go for it.
Okay, energy's good. Okay, copy.
So we only need a couple of laps where we can absolutely go for it. I think perhaps after the first corner here, but is Pierre Gasly going to have a chance on Lewis here? He might do.
5 more laps. 5 more laps.
5 laps remaining. Alonso following through. Not like that. Right. Gasly.
You've got loads of energy.
I think at the end of this lap, that's when we're going to absolutely go for it. We'll have 4 laps to go. And they'll essentially have 2 laps where they can go for it. With everything at their disposal. Full power, full juice, full beans. Well, can we get up to 6th and 7th? That would be an absolute dream. If we could manage that, that would be awesome. So, here we go then. Gasly attack, push, deploy. Alonso. Attack, push, deploy.
Do everything.
Here we go.
Copy.
So Gasly in DRS range.
Use energy if you need.
Copy.
Keep it on neutral for now.
Use energy. Okay.
DRS zones, that's where we need to push it the most. We've got 4 laps to go in this Grand Prix. It is quite the DRS train, this. Lewis Hamilton has been stuck in an all Grand Prix while his teammate pushing near the front for the podium. On to deploy now.
Can use energy.
Copy.
Let's hop on board with PA. I think keep it on deploy all the way around the final corner. Give him the best possible chance. You can see how much more pace Gasly's got than these. So here we go. Where's he going to pull to? He's just following them through for now. What about Alonso?
3 more laps. 3 more laps.
He might have a little look. No, doesn't bother this time. And oh, here goes Gasly. And Gasly goes down the inside of Hamilton, and Gasly's through. And now Alonso's got a chance. He's going to deploy up the hill. This is going to be so close. That's very aggressive from both drivers. They're side by side.
Copy.
And Alonso's still there.
This is good.
Is he going to get through? Oh, still side by side. This is unbelievable racing from the two veteran drivers. And Fernando Alonso finally through. And now Pierre Gasly. What's he going to manage to do? He's having a look at the Alpine, and he is past the Alpine, up to 8th place now. There's Daniel Ricciardo. He's going to struggle.
That's it.
No. Not quite. Here we go then with Gasly. Is he going to be able to have a go? Not this time. So we're going to go down to neutral.
2 more laps. 2 more laps.
We need to make sure that we've got enough ERS to basically go for it next time out. But here goes Alonso down the inside of Esteban Ocon. That turns into the outside line, then up the hill. It's going to be a bit of a challenge, but does stay close to
Doing a good job. Keep pushing.
Ocon, his old teammate, and he might well try down the inside here. This is a huge move for Fernando Alonso. He's going to have a look, and he flies through. That was brilliant from Fernando, and he is now up to P9. So P8 and P9 is where we currently are at with both of our drivers. We have got 1 more lap to go after this. There goes Daniel Ricciardo. He's having a little look. Is Gasly going to... Oh, I thought he was going to go down the inside there. He doesn't manage it this time. We've got Vettel and we've got Ricciardo side by side. We're going to deploy ERS for both of our drivers. Here we go. On to the final lap of this Grand Prix. Gasly's got an excellent run. On Daniel Ricciardo, he's got DRS as well. Surely he's going to be able to go down the inside here.
Last lap. Last lap.
Oh, and he nearly went into the back
Copy.
of Ricciardo. Now, Alonso's probably got the better tyres. He's probably got the better chance of finishing 6th, but Gasly's the one with the track position at the moment. We're going to give them both the opportunity. Can Gasly do what Alonso did on the last lap? Go down the inside round here. Doesn't look like it. Alonso's still pushing so hard. It's going to be a drag race up to the line, ultimately.
We need to charge.
Oh, and they've ran out of ERS. That's not what we needed. And I think we've reached our limit. Carlos Sainz has won the Dutch Grand Prix ahead of Max Verstappen in 2nd. Russell finishes 3rd. Leclerc finishes 4th with Perez 5th. Vettel is going to come across the line. He's going to finish 6th. Then it's going to be Ricciardo in 7th. Gasly finishes 8th. And Alonso 9th. Ocon rounds out the top 10. Hamilton pointless
thanks, guys.
again.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Take all the pick up on the way in. Well done. Get lots of pickup.
Let's check his flag. Okay, let's move from here. Well done, guys. Everybody enjoyed that. Well done. Take the pickup.
Well, it was a good race. And we managed to get some points. Damage limitation, most definitely. But, boy, that was tough. No safety cars. That was all done on pure pace and pure strategy to get back into the points. I have to say, I'm impressed. You know, to only end up, what, 20 seconds off the lead, was it? Let's have a little look at the gap to leader. 20 seconds with Pierre Gasly. That ain't bad.
Well, this weekend, Pierre Gasly flew us to the stars. Today, Aston Martin demonstrated that they can go very far indeed.
Yeah, this was a really clever bit of strategy, and it's great to see that pay off. I can't wait to find out what they show us next time.
After an intense weekend, the team ends in first place in the constructor standings.
We now look ahead to the next round in Monza in Italy. The Temple of Speed is waiting, and the teams will be ready and raring to go.
So there you have it then. P8 and P9 is where we finish in the end. Fernando Alonso with by far the fastest lap of the race, a 1:10.1. So we did manage to match the pace of the leaders throughout with our brand new fresh engine. It's going to be interesting to see next time out how we go about the Italian Grand Prix. Alonso, his lead decreases to 12 points in the championship. He's still 50 points ahead of Carlos Sainz, but that victory will give Sainz some hope that he can get back into it. In the constructors, we lose out a little bit to Ferrari, of course, but we are still 123 points ahead in that championship. Pierre Gasly, no development points for him, none for Fernando, and none for Piastri either. 3.5 million is what we gain from that Grand Prix. So that is where we are going to leave everything this episode. We've got a brand new design coming in next time out for the front wing. It's our final development of the season. It looks like we may well... Yes, we do have a new regulations vote. Let's see what that's going to be on. Financial changes. So what they're looking to do. Oh, price share. So they're not going to give more to the top, less to the bottom, but keep 10th the same. Ooh. Well, you know who is going to vote for these changes, don't you? Goodness me. Very interesting. Right, that's where we're going to leave it for today's episode. If you have enjoyed that, then give it a big thumbs up down below. Subscribe for plenty more F1 Manager content, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.